Hello, this is my screencast of my TPACK development throughout the course of this class for Module 10. I'm going to start out with talking about how I felt at the beginning of the class of my development, then about halfway through once we finally got to the TPACK module, and then how I now feel at the end. So I started this class not really knowing much about integrating technology into the classroom. The only technology use that I had really been exposed to was smartboards and Word documents, and really only the most basic programs. Really, smartboards were only used as glorified whiteboards. They really only used them to take notes. We didn't interact with them at all or use them for anything much. None of my teachers really used the technology effectively, so that's the biggest point of TPACK, I feel, is how to integrate the technology into your teaching and how to combine it with content knowledge and pedagogical knowledge to really effectively teach your students. So at the beginning of this class, I never really thought about content knowledge, technology knowledge, and pedagogical knowledge being really connected. And honestly, I'd never even thought about them much at all except for pedagogical knowledge. So this is my diagram at the beginning. I felt like I knew the most about pedagogical knowledge because I have worked with children in a learning environment outside of the classroom before with coaching and community programs. So I've had to tailor how to teach certain concepts to different learners already because even in things like sports, not every child learns the same way. You have to use different techniques for every child. The other two I haven't really thought of until this class. I didn't really have that much technology in my classrooms going through school, so I didn't realize the importance they have in future classrooms. And content, I've only been exposed to what I have learned in the classroom, and curriculum is always evolving and pretty quickly, so I'm not really sure how much it'll probably change. I'm sure it has changed greatly. So once we got to about lecture 4, which was the TPACK module, it was really interesting to see how these knowledges could start to intertwine, especially when the lecturer gave us all the examples in our Google Docs. It really showed me how many tools there are out there for teachers. As well, when she allowed us to design a hypothetical lesson ourselves trying to use the TPACK model, it really helped to give me concrete knowledge and examples of this theory. By the end of this lecture, I could clearly see the point and use of a lot of the technologies we had already used in this classroom and how they could maybe be used in our own classrooms. Something like Google Docs, for example, that we have been using throughout this class, I feel is a great tool, and it really helps technology knowledge and pedagogical knowledge intertwine. It's a good idea for collaboration on projects, and it allows teachers to monitor students but kind of facilitate the learning rather than just going in there and telling them what to write and telling them what to do. The students can really work together and do it on their own, and then a teacher can help and they can ask questions and a teacher can facilitate more than just lecture. So after this lecture, my diagram, it changed a little bit, not too much, but everything got a little closer. It started to grow, and technology bubble got a little bigger because this class has really given me more tools to use in the classroom and it's given me the skills to find some of my own, especially when we made our TAC boards and apps. For me, I mostly found my own and decided for myself how they could be used in the classroom, so that was a great tool rather than just someone telling me these are the apps you can use and this is how you're going to use them. I kind of discovered for myself how to do that in my classroom. So where I am now, I'm still not 100% confident in my knowledge, but I have grown a little bit more sure. I don't think I'll ever be 100% until I can actually start implementing this model into my own classroom. But I have definitely reached a higher understanding coming to the end of this course. So my bubbles have changed a little bit since lecture 4, but not much. My technology bubble got a little bigger and it has moved a little more into the pedagogical bubble. I think this shift happened because of lecture 5 and 6 mostly, when we went over the learning theories of behaviorism, connectivism, constructivism, and cognitivism. In lecture 5 and how there are technologies that can exemplify these different theories. It really helped me to see a greater connection between pedagogy and technology in the classroom. As well, when I used the smartboard in module 6, I thought this was a lot of fun and it made me excited to possibly get a smartboard in my own classroom. It really allows students to have a much greater interaction with the lesson, which also brought the content bubble a lot closer to technology. They're not quite all the way connected because I'm not quite completely there yet, but they're much closer because technology allowed the students to interact with the content, and it also allowed for a different pedagogical way of teaching rather than someone just lecturing. Students can interact and have fun with it. So this is where I am with my TPACK model now. Hope you enjoyed the screencast, and thank you for watching.